Welcome back to New Rockstars, I'm Erik Voss, and Shang-Chi is the latest Marvel title to ask, what the hell is about to happen? A mysterious beacon in the 10 rings. But also we got Peter Parker tampering with Doctor Strange's spell to resurrect dead multiversal villains, and then a cryptic emergence in Eternals, and then what if making up new timeline rules like absolute points? It all seems to be pointing to the same mad multiversal future. But as we're still trying to digest Loki and WandaVision, we are in desperate need of an antacid explaining what is causing what, who is summoning whom, who broke Doctor Strange, and why is Wang everywhere? I mean, not that I'm complaining. Really, there are 10 moments in which characters in the MCU seem to cross a threshold, which we now might be able to consider to be Nexus events, or absolute points, or Watcher winks. Event 1, Doctor Strange uses the Time Stone to look ahead at 14,605 future outcomes and secretly devises a plan that requires Iron Man to die. Event 2, during the time heist, Loki steals the Tesseract, becomes a variant. Event 3, Loki and Sylvie touch, creating an unprecedented Nexus event. Event 4, Sylvie kills He Who Remains and the sacred timeline splinters. Event 5, the Avengers snap back Thanos' victims, which, according to the Eternals, creates an energy surge that triggers the Celestials' emergence. Event 6, Wanda Maximoff creates the Westview Hex reality and absorbs Agatha's magic to become the Scarlet Witch, a Nexus being more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. Event 7, the Scarlet Witch reads the Darkhold and then suddenly looks up upon hearing the voices of her sons. Event 8, Shang-Chi uses the 10 rings to kill the Dweller in Darkness, alerting Camartage to a beacon inside the rings, summoning something from afar. Event 9, Doctor Strange conducts a memory wiping spell, but Peter Parker interferes with it, causing things from alternate universes to collide with this one. And Event 10, Alt Universe, Doctor Strange absorbs mystical beings and saves Christine Palmer, violating an absolute point in that universe and destroying it. Now sure, there are other big turning points in the MCU, but so far these are the events that we could argue unraveled the fabric of the MCU as we know it. When we talk about causality among these events, it's important to consider chronology, because it would be easy to say that the 10 rings beacon is summoning the Celestials, with Eternals coming next in the pipeline, but details in Shang-Chi establish this movie to take place sometime in summer 2024, in the year after the blip. But Eternals seems to be set in fall 2023, the 7 days immediately after the blip ended. This would adhere to Eternals' original planned release before WandaVision and before Shang-Chi. Now, Loki suggested that all the events in the sacred timeline are unfolding simultaneously from the perspective of the Citadel at the end of time, so that discovery that the time code of Agatha's depowered drop in WandaVision syncing up weirdly perfectly with the time code of He Who Remains and Loki testing gravity on his desk is technically valid, as would be the case if you synced up the moment Peter derailed the spell and when Shang-Chi Kamehameha the Mega Soul Sucker. The point being that every Nexus event that seems to break reality in the MCU could be part of a multi-harmony chord that collectively cracks the universe to spill its contents in a multiverse mess. The more crass among us might call this the brown note. I'll just say look it up. Actually don't. But to determine which of these events are part of that harmonious fart, we have to revisit the difference between timelines and universes. A distinction that I may have rushed through too quickly in my last What If breakdown. Apologies, I try to fit a lot in and there's always the pause button. The confusion came from a line from the Ancient One.
I drew upon the power of the dark dimension to split the timeline, allowing for 2 of your possible timelines to occur in one universe.
See, during Loki, some use the words timeline and universe interchangeably, when actually we should consider timeline to mean that wavy stream of time and the branches that snake off it, while universe to be the 2-dimensional plane that all those branches snake out into and across. A universe contains a timeline and its branches in a way that a country contains a river. Too many rivers that snake off each other, the landmass floods, and the universe of this landmass becomes too indiscernible to the ocean that surrounds it. But whether or not you think you can trust this person, you know, one famous character we could not trust is Goldilocks. That little jerk had a terrible sense of entitlement, and I think she's technically a felon for breaking into those bears' home and eating their porridge, but you know what, you can't knock her desire to have a bed that was just right for her. We all want a comfortable mattress designed just for us, and that's why Helix Sleep is to thank for sponsoring this video. show. Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding that are customized to fit your needs and conveniently shipped right to your door. Helix has a sleep quiz that matches your unique body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. I took the quiz and got matched with the Dusk Luxe Helix mattress because I wanted a medium firm mattress with lumbar support that sleeps cool. I've had my Helix mattress for over a year now and I love it! It totally delivers on all the great features. If you sleep with a partner, both of you can take the quiz and find the mattress that meets both of your needs. And the best part about all this is that Helix delivers your mattress right to your door for free. It comes rolled up in a box and it's super easy to set it up yourself. It's wild that they can fit an entire mattress into a box that size. Helix has a 100-night sleep trial, so you get more than 3 months to make sure that you love it. And if you don't, they'll pick it up for you and you'll get a full refund. I love my Helix and I think you would too. If you're looking for a new bed, check out Helix. You can click the link below or go to helixsleep.com/newrockstars and get up to $200 off your Helix mattress. So Doctor Strange, with his time stone, is limited to reliving and re-experiencing events in his own timeline and seeing the future of that timeline. That's what he saw in Infinity War, and he does not create branches by doing this. However, like the Scarlet Witch, he can absorb the power of other mystic beings and power himself up into a Nexus being that can break an absolute point. But by doing so, he plunges into a darkest timeline that melts his whole universe into inky dark matter, just like the Ancient One warned about in Endgame. That's why the Avengers had to return the stones, because Thanos' snap was an absolute point that they had to work around and still deal with some of the consequences of, like some people being 5 years older than others, post-blip anxiety, and soon celestial emergence. Only those with a multi-dimensional quantum view of timelines can tinker with time without breaking everything, like Kang / He Who Remains / his TVA and the Watcher, which is why I think it's very possible that Kang and the Watcher could be old friends, or like Jacob and the Man in Black, or just like an adorable old married couple. But for other accidental Nexus beings who don't know what they're doing, like the Scarlet Witch or Strange Supreme, or in my view, Loki and Sylvie combined, aka Loki squared, their universes crumble into Lovecraftian horror shows. And Marvel Studios, in this same week, opened the floodgates to cosmic horror with the tentacled, soul-sucking demon, the Dweller in Darkness in Shang-Chi, as it did with Doctor Strange's various tentacled demons in What If. Different universe, sure, but they function the same way. Mystic threats absorbing the life forces from each other to give themselves the power to transcend reality. So what is the Ten Rings beacon summoning? Well, based on all of this, probably not just something from the stars, despite the Rings' alien McLuhan origins in the comics. I think if it was an extraterrestrial beacon, Captain Marvel would probably recognize it. Like, she was in that room as the expert of all things off-world, and she was stumped. But the fact that Wang is really the adult in the room, the one who warned Strange in No Way Home and is in a rush to get back to Camartage, and is the person Good Strange wants to save in What If.
At the very least, to save you.
I think this means that this is a force from another dimension. A force that has now been notified that these rings were used to kill a predator that should not have been in this realm. And the signal comes in harmony with the rise of Scarlet Witch, the union of Loki variants, and Peter Parker derailing Doctor Strange's spell. Now that force has been rumored to be Shuma-Gorath, the tentacled elder god many-angled one, which would reflect the tentacle monster imagery we have been seeing nearly everywhere else. But while I think squids are part of it, really I think the boldness of using Spider-Man No Way Home to bring back an alt-universe Sinister Six lineup, it cannot be overstated how huge of a paradigm shift that is. Therefore, I think that the beacon is warning for any alternate universe that might be able to hear this signal that this universe's dam has just been burst by the Dweller in Darkness arriving into it and that Dweller being killed, along with all these other things that we've mentioned. And on the other side of that call, think about it. Who are the biggest multiverse experts who we are expecting to come into the MCU very soon? The pros on this subject matter, the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, and then transdimensional networks like the Council of Kangs, who was alluded to in Loki, Captain Britain Corps, maybe the more hardened Peter Parkers of the Spider-Verse. All of these forces are on their way to answer the call, a call that sounds like... You can support New Rockstars by checking out our merch options at newrockstarsmerch.com, including this great What If limited edition shirt. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss. Follow and subscribe to New Rockstars. Thanks for watching. Bye.